Our go beyond the like segment is where we really move into those strategies that we talk about, right? What to implement, what are some of the tactics related to those strategies that you can actually implement. We like to talk through these segments, right? This is where you get to the place of money in the bank, right? This is the actual activity or the thing you as a business owner, as a business executive should be thinking about. All right, so today we are talking about, there you go, strategies for success, preparing your small business for summer. Summertime. We should have music in the background. Don't let me sing. But I think I hit that note pretty decent for those of you. Right, Michael? You're like,
You
you're like
got
a
it. You got it. I was with you. I was with you. I
you're
was unmuted and started to,
okay.
yes. Time.
So summertime celebrated in every country. Trinidad is summertime. August holidays, summertime. However,
I
you
told you,
decide.
don't get me started on that. We started using the word summer, and I find it the most annoying thing,
I
right?
know, I know,
Summer
I
is
know,
not
I
a
know.
season.
It's
It's
August
called July,
holidays.
August. It's
July,
August holidays.
August. Yeah, no, that's why I'm like August holidays from July all the way to September. That's what we call it, August holidays. All right. So the Caribbean folks, you acknowledge. To the British folks, uh, was it vacation time? It's also holidays. So to everyone here, you're acknowledged, whatever you call it. You still need a strategy for it, right? Because it's really important that you are thinking about your customers. It's important that you're thinking about your business. Is your customer going on vacation? Are you going on vacation? What happens? What are the promotions that happen within that time? You definitely need a strategy for summer. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm excited about this conversation. First point is marketing. Okay, so targeted campaigns. Depending on if you are a product or if you are a service. If you're a product, you want to think about what are your targeted campaigns. If you have a product, right? Not if you are a product. If you have a product, you want to think about what are these targeted campaigns. If you have a drink, if you have a business, it's, let's just say you're an auto repair. I've been talking to some auto repair folks in the chamber recently, so it just comes to mind. It's summertime when you find that the AC is out for most of your customers. So you need to start thinking about that promotion ahead of time and getting in their mindset, right? Or their headspace, because it goes out all the time and you do that type of work. So now you want to start talking about that, promoting that, optimizing your content for that, creating targeted campaigns for people that are searching for those things. If you have a product that's, like a drink or something, do you want to highlight your summer drink special? So you really want to think about what is your audience doing? What's happening in that space? What happened last year? Go back and look at the data points. What trends did you see last summer? And start leaning into those things so you can maximize. What are the holidays that are coming up? I know, for instance, we have 4th of July. We have Memorial Day weekend. We have a few things coming up, so we want to really focus in on that. What else do we have from a marketing standpoint? We have content optimization and content refresh, right? Refresh that content. So we've talked about this before. Your website is not your magazine, right? So you want to be in a space where you're updating that content on your website, especially for the summer. What does it feel like? If you have a jewelry store, for instance, I know we have our jewelry store, High Knickknacks. So we want to make sure that the content feels summery for that product. People are like, you can wear this with this. You can wear this with this. Some ideas for the team there. Michael's like, great. Smiling. His mind's like, oh gosh, homework. But you really want to think through, what does that content refresh look like? If you are a business owner that's a service business owner, what does your content refresh look like? Because maybe your potential customer is all going on vacation, but we understand sometimes in the service industry, people are going on vacation, but they come back in September and then they want it tomorrow. So before they start getting on vacation, do we start moving them down a process where they download something, you reach out, you start thinking about, hey, we know vacation is coming up, reaching out to that B2B space, right? We know vacation is coming up. We know we want to get ahead of the game. We know what happens in September when people are like, I need to achieve my business goals. Right? And they're like September through the rest of the year, it's like, oh, mad rush. So how do we get ahead of that right now and pull a campaign together that focuses on those people that may start taking vacation soon, so that you're saying, let me help you have a great summer so you're not overthinking about this while you're on vacation and move through that process, right? What else are we looking at for marketing? we're looking at email marketing. This is a great place to go. You want to start connecting with folks, emailing them, staying on top of their funnel, staying at the top of mind, not the top of their funnel. Email means that you've gotten an email address from them, so you want to stay connected. So you want to reach out, connect with them, let them know, hey, here's what's happening, here's what we're thinking about, connect with your customer. There's a lot of customer first in every strategy that you put forward, but especially your summer strategy. We're kind of a little bit checked out. You know what I mean? Like people are a little bit checked out in the summertime. They're like, sun, especially there, it's winter. They're like, sun and life. We're living until the winter time again. So they're a little bit checked out. So you really have to be clear on what you're trying to achieve. You have to be clear on their pain points. You have to get them into that space of like, hey, this is coming and we want to get ahead of it for you, make it super convenient for them. So at least they know there's a solution there. There are real opportunities in that summertime marketing. So you should absolutely prepare your business for that. I think that's it for the marketing piece. Is there anything else? Did I miss something, Nia? No, we're good. Yay, thumbs up. All right, guys, what do you guys think about the marketing side of things?
I'm going to dive right in, go the reverse, right? So we'll start with email marketing. You started to allude to it. A great time for email marketing for sure. So you want to make sure you understand what your email campaigns look like. Tamara absolutely just started to allude to it. People tend to kind of check out. So are you polling your audience, saying, are you around for the summer? Are you, what fits to speak to your customer? Because one thing you don't want is they come back to their desk and like there are 15 emails. They don't know where to start. They've just been overloaded. So what do? We don't look at any, or we look at the most recent one. But how great would it be to understand who's away from their desk, understand what their needs are during the summer period, to say, listen, this is what we'll be doing in the summer period that's a little different. And here's where you can actually, connect with us differently so that you keep them on train, but not overload them when they get back. So a great time for email for sure. Of course, there's a time we're going to see a lot of the retail, as you say, the B2C kind of space is going to pump up a lot. But I think there's a lot of opportunity in B2B and email marketing to leverage during the summertime. Go for it.
Yes, the marketing. But so marketing is the first step, right? It's about getting that first connection and letting people know we're heading into this new season. Here's what you can expect. And I like the targeted campaign aspect of it. Being very specific as to what is going to be happening in your space, who you need to be speaking to, because this is a time where different people are going to be doing different things. Some people are going to be on, some people are going to be off, right? So if you need to figure out, in my audience, is my audience going to want to hear from me? First of all, do they want, is the thing that I am selling even summer ready? Is it something that I need to be on for? So I like the idea of, look at your marketing. And the thing about it, the first thing is look at your marketing from early, because summer is here officially. I think isn't the season officially starts from all now. So ideally, you should have been having this conversation from even since maybe a month ago, so that maybe those campaigns could have started to go out, right? So that would have started to go out, so that people, when they're ready to think about it, it's already there in your inbox.
I think we have a couple in this area, and I think the first one was strategic outreach. So what's the intention behind where we're going for your business for this time of year? Think holidays. This is a big holiday time. Here in the United States, we're running into a couple of key dates that we think of that is attached to summertime. Mother's Day is coming up. This is a big graduation time. We're getting into Memorial Day, and then we're back in, which is a key place for me that just reeks of summer, and that is the Memorial holiday 4th of July, where we start seeing changes in the marketing information that's coming out. So as we say, be strategic and be intentional. Make sure that your messaging is catering directly to those particular functions and those holidays or those key things, so that your messaging is on point for it. So if you have a product that specifically speaks to summer, but you're in the midst of winter, is that target audience that you're reaching out to in a different climate? And are you showing something that is short sleeve sundresses, or something that's a refreshing drink versus, as we see, Michael in hoodie that is speaking to wintertime? So those nonverbal and verbal marketing messages and sales calls to actions that are reaching directly to it. I speak to one of my clients, Flower Up Confections, Roxanne Owens. For those of you that need sweet treats and you're in the greater Atlantic area, she promotes and often shows and has calls to action that are directly related to graduation. So she'll have something that has a cap and gown to it. Or if for Mother's Day, something that shows a present or something that's related to that. So be careful, make sure that your messaging and all of your marketing is strategically aligned with a specific market segment to promote and to push and to have the mindset in your visuals that will move forward with that, because we all buy with our eyes and we buy with emotion. So make sure that you're strategic with that. And I believe our second one for our sales component is be mindful. And Nia put that other one up. In the sales component, this has nothing to do with the call to action, but this is thinking of your actions and the housekeeping side of sales. And that when we're dealing with summer, we're typically dealing with shorter sales cycles. So as you are planning and working through the sales journey, some of the questions that you need to keep in mind and things that you're looking for is that sometimes the sales cycle is much shorter, going back to what Tamara and Michael were talking about, simply because people may be out of office. So and we're speaking to the B2B space. What type of questions are you asking, and making sure that those key players that you're working with, are they going to be in office when the decision needs to be made? Do you need to reverse engineer a timeline to accommodate all of the holidays that are coming to fruition shortly? When you're planning that information and that sales cycle with your marketing team, are you talking about when those marketing campaigns need to land in order to capture the sales to accommodate a different sales cycle when we're coming to the summer period? And I hate to put this in front of you now, but think about Christmas in July. We need to think a little farther out and begin our planning now for when those people return and what those sales actions need to be. Because Tamara's right. When people come back off of that lovely time for vacation, they will want to act right away. And are you prepared for that call to action at that moment to say what they need to hear and be able to relieve their pain when they want it relieved? Or are you, in hibernation mode because you're resting along with them? So make sure that you're prepared for that shorter sales cycle and to act quickly when they return back from vacation.
Yeah, that's like that's a whole different journey you're looking at, right? A encapsulated journey in the summer, so that you end with that call to action when they do get back. I love that point. Again, when we talk about, summertime is just that time where you need to be segmented, you need to be targeted, because it's a different audience. So I really do like that point of, making sure that you're tagging your audience properly and saying, listen, this is what's going to be in the inbox when you get back, or lining them up for the sale. Because as we said, yes, when September comes, then, I needed it a month ago. So
I love the point about, the strategic outreach and identifying that seasonal need, right? Because that speaks to all parts of the business. That speaks to the finance part. That speaks to the operational part. Because if you know whose needs are seasonal, then you'll be able to plan for them better, and you'll understand what the fluctuations that are happening in your business. Sometimes I feel like business owners not in touch with that piece of information. And if you're not in touch with that piece of information, you could misread things and you could make decisions that go awry and go against, what should be happening. Don't misread the fluctuations in your business as fluctuations or something else, as opposed to saying, this is how my business runs. I have people who are seasonal, and I need to reach out. And that point, that identification of the seasonal need, I think is so important.
One of the things I have great conversations with clients on right now too, and I actually commented a couple of places, and some people were of the mindset of, well, they think summer and they think discounting. And I said, absolutely not. That's not what we're talking about. When we think summer, we think action and what they need and what needs to be said at a specific time. There's actually more of a pressure to act when we get to holiday times. And that if you're messaging it out early enough and you're meeting that open window, that lead time that we talk about, to begin addressing it early enough and warning people, hey, Mother's Day is coming, purchase it now. We think of the sensitivity that we hear out there and the pressure of don't miss out, buy by this time to deliver by Mother's Day. Those are things that you can put out there in your sales messaging, that call, in order for you to get the response, to get the purchase now. And if you're going to place a discount, it's earlier on, but the closer we get to the date is actually when you should be pulling those discounts away and putting what the real price is and what you're commanding for the value, because that's actually where some of your costs increase. Because if you're having to mail out, that turnover to have that fast delivery costs you more to get it out. So it's actually reversal of that entire process that you're thinking of. But time sensitivity, to call to action, to get the response that you need to deliver and have the right experience along with everything is vastly important as we're shifting into that seasonality.
Mia is not liking your points. I don't know. Like, where's the applause? You're not convincing Nia, Michelle. You're not convincing Michelle.
What did I do to you, girl?
I swear. She's like, I'm managing stuff. Poor Nia. All right, so we are moving on. Andrew, we're going to jump in and talk a little bit about finance from that for summertime.
All right. So, I mean, we can't talk finance and not talk my favorite topic, cash flow, right? Cash flow forecast, your cash flow projection. So you need to understand, just as we spoke about the seasonal needs, you might need to understand what does the season mean for you in terms of money. So in the case of a B2B, people going on vacation, it actually might see slower payments because it means people are not in office to prepare your payment and get you paid, right? So you may need to understand if that is what is going to happen, how am I going to adjust? Do I need additional cash to take me through that period, to take me through that period until they get back? Or do I need better collection procedures at the start to ensure that I get my payment before people go off on their vacation and I get my money, right? So there's that element. And then there's the element of, well, if my product is seasonal or my service is seasonal and I'm going to see a ramping up of demand, then what does that do to my cash flow forecast? It means that I'm going to be getting cash. But then also take a step back. All these things that we're talking about here, the first thing we started talking about was marketing. If I'm marketing for the summer, then it means I'm going to need cash flow before summer starts so that I could push my marketing. What are the marketing efforts that I'm going to be pushing before the season starts? So whether it be more targeted campaigns, as Tamara said, do I need an ad spend for that? Do I need additional graphics? Am I ramping up and with an influencer? Whatever it is that you're doing, the point about it is it affects your cash flow because you're going to need to spend cash ahead of the season in order to then get money during the season. So definitely taking a look at your cash flow forecast to see how the season impacts the cash and what you need to do. One of the things Michelle spoke about was the sales cycle. That is such a critical part. I think that's a part that we don't pay enough attention to. If you understand what your sales cycle is, then you're going to understand your need for money. If your sales cycle, and we've said this on this show before, if you're in a B2B space and it's taking 3 months for you to close a deal, if you started that deal in May, right? And then we come and we're talking and we're saying, well, okay, during summer, things are slowing down. Is it going to be 3 months still, or is it going to be 5? Because by the time they come back, then they pick back up the conversation. What happens during that 5 months? Where are you going to get money to survive? It means either you look for alternative sources of revenue to take you through that period, or you have to rely on the cash that you would have had from before. That also, in looking at your finances, one of the other things you want to look at is your pricing. So during this high competitive time, especially if your product is seasonal and you're competing with everybody else, look and see what's going on out there. Michelle spoke just now about, people putting out campaigns there to say, buy this now before you, in order for you to get it in time for the particular date. It's going to be a high competition time. So you want to look at what are your competitors doing and consider what they're offering and how it impacts you and how can you respond to them. Are you responding with a discount? As Michelle is clearly saying, no, let's not run to discounts. Are you offering a discount, or are you offering something else? Are you offering a flexible payment option? Are you saying buy now, pay at the end of summer? Or are you saying get more for the same money? So the person is selling 3 for 10, you're going to sell 4 and 5 for 10. What is it that you're giving extra in order to stay competitive? And of course, how that impacts on your financing, because of course, on your finance, if you're giving a discount, you're cutting into your margins, that's one. Or if you're giving more, it's going to cost you more on the back end. So profit is going to be impacted. You want to have a look at those numbers, and you want to optimize the pricing to ensure that you stay within the goals that you set for the business and that you're not putting your profit margins on too much of a strain.
I really love that you talk about, that cash flow, and I really like how they pay, right? That's a really great, tool, and also the considerations of all the stuff that needs to happen from an operations standpoint, right? Those things that you need to pull together for summer. And Michelle talked about it. When does it start? At this point, you're not too late, but you should be. You got to jump in. Right? You're gonna have to. We're telling you about it now, but you're gonna have to turn it around quickly. You have to start thinking about that summer strategy and connect all these dots, right? And this connects to the operations team as well, and start getting ahead and think about summer and fall together, right? That's what we're seeing. That's the message.
And that made me want to add this as the bonus point today. Operations. How is operations supporting, even if you need to take time off in your business? We understand these are small shops. We're talking to small businesses. How are your operations now supporting? And we're not talking just automation necessarily, but how are you continuing to drive leads while you are not at your desk? How are you getting notified if that, potential client that you've had your eye on reaches back out to you, but you're on vacation, right? So a key time to make sure your operations are solid and tight so that you can free yourself and take that time off, go to the beach, do whatever you need to do on the summertime to recharge. So operations also plays a big part during summertime to make sure that you, survive that little break, right?
Business must survive. So we love that bonus point. Yay!
Nia didn't like it.
Poor Nia. She didn't give you. She still gave you a kind of like wah wah. I don't know that any of us got a standing ovation today, but it's fine. It's fine, Nia. We'll deal with this after the show. All right, so let's just give everyone a 30-second recap. It's summertime, so we're already having a lot of fun. And just to let you guys know that we are taking a break for the summertime. So our last live show will be May 15th. But it's okay, we'll pop in here and there. We'll keep you updated. We're gonna do a few things to make sure that we keep you connected during the summertime, because businesses don't stop, right? But all four of us are gonna take a break together and then come back in parts. We got something for you though. So all right, 30 seconds, let's go.
Summer season is a great fun time. Yes, that's what we're talking about. But don't forget the basics of that your business has to run. And all these different things that we spoke about today helps to ensure that you keep that continuity during that time. You can't just shut down, especially if you're a one-person show or even a two-person show. You have to be able to put the different things in place. As Michael is saying, you have the operations, you have the sales, you have marketing. Don't forget the money, right? You need money to ensure that these things happen. And it could be money to ensure that you hire help, to ensure that the business continues in your absence, or it could be money to drive marketing to ensure that you boost your sales. Whatever it is, they will take the time to think about the season. That's my takeaway point to you. Take the time to think about the season. All that we said today may not be relevant to you, but think about the season and how it impacts you.
I want to leave our community with something, and I like to make things a bit relational for us to understand. And it happens to be key in summer. We are not trying to get our summer bodies ready at summertime. We're planning well in advance because we understand the seasonality to it, and we're quite intentional with what we do because we have a shorter time span. So we're trying to get our bodies tight and right, and we need to understand that seasonality. And I invite you to think of it in that way as well. Know the seasonality, understand what that change means for your business, understand the time limitations that may be involved with it, and the multiple components that have to come to the table with it. We are not saying anything different than what we said in the past in this room. All of your team needs to be involved. There needs to be some strategy and some intention that's involved with it. But in this instance, for the summer season, the timelines tend to be shorter. So your reaction and your actions need to be on point, well thought out, with call to actions for a specific response back so that you can move your business forward in this very time sensitive period. So think summer body, think reaction, think call to actions. That's what we're looking for.
I love that point. I love how you frame that, summer bodies. So yes, operationally, make sure you're ready. Maybe internally for your business, it's a time to revisit your operational processes, maybe a time to improve your operational processes, see how they were doing. But definitely a time where you want to make sure that you are supported. As I said, during summertime, we are clearly signaling that this is a time when there are specific behaviors that happen at summertime that you want to make sure you're meeting your client where they are in their journey so that your marketing continues to drive revenue, even if you're on vacation or not.